السلام عليكم، أهلا وسهلا فيكم معنا بحلقة جديدة في قناة عفيفة للتكييف. في الحلقة هاي راح تكون في اختلاف عن الحلقات السابقة اللي كنا مسوينها ونتكلم فيها عن أنظمة التكييف والضغط والعزل ومشاكل التكييف والتركيبات وإلى آخره. الحقيقة استلمنا من المهندس ليث خضراوي مدير المنطقة الشرقية في ريم دعوة لزيارة مصنعهم في دبي، لزيارة المصنع تبع ريم ورود ومكاتبه هناك، على أساس نطلع على طريقة سير العمل ونشوف كيف بتتم الأعمال الهندسية وكيف بيتم تصنيع أجهزة التكييف وأنظمة التكييف وعمل الاختبارات عليها وتجهيزها للشحن بحيث توصل للعميل. فحبينا انكم تكونوا مشاركين معنا وتكونوا معنا بهالرحلة هاي. ان شاء الله بكرة رح نتجه الى دبي، فجهزوا اغراضكم وحالكم وخلونا نطلع مع بعض على دبي. مهندس ليث راح تكون معنا ان شاء الله في الرحلة على دبي
باذن الله. ان شاء الله حنرافقكم ولنا الشرف باستقبالكم في مصنعنا، واهلا وسهلا فيكم ان شاء الله.
شكرا جزيلا. نجهز حالنا بكرة اغراضنا، اشي ناخذ اشي خفيف ونتحرك ان شاء الله سوا. يعطيكم العافية ونشوفكم بكرة. صباح الخير، سعد صباحكم. احنا الان في اللاونج بننتظر في الكول على الطيارة، ومعانا الشاب الحلو اخونا محمد درويش ابو فيصل.
السلام عليكم.
راح يكون مرافقنا، ومعانا المهندس ليث برضه حيكون معنا. الباشمهندس اسلام يساعدنا بلقائه من الووتر هيتر سيكشن في رود. يسعد صباحكم. في طريقنا المصنع تبع ريم، ومعانا برفقة الشباب كلهم المهندس ليث ابو زيد مسؤول المنطقة الشرقية، والمهندس محمد مبسوط وابو فيصل. صباح الخير ابو فيصل. مرة ثانية صبح
يا سيدي 200 مرة.
الآن وصلنا مصنع ريم للمكييفات، وإن شاء الله راح نروح لعندهم ونشوف الفاسيلتي تبعهم. دخلنا على مدخل ريم، نشوف الديسبلاي تبعهم جميل جدا، مرتب ما شاء الله.
كانت البيوت موجودة وسموها ويندو. هذا في من هون هلا الشبابيك في امريكا.
هذا ال VRV سيستم تبعهم تبع ريم.
من الجنب هون التغطية، من الجنب هون
هاي الويندو يونت.
بسكروا الشباك بيحطوه من تحت.
أو فريدريك، هذا صناعة ريم، لأنها ريم استحوذت على فريدريك. المكييفات القديمة كانت تنتج باسم فريدريك، ريم استحوذت عليها الآن وبدأت تنتجها كويندو يونتس. هذا الكاسيت تبعهم.
Earlier the product management director, and then I moved to factory. So that product which we started from Mexico, so at that time that product was designed for Middle East. So I requested them, guys, don't put fiberglass, please.
Yeah,
perfect.
Closed cell polyolefin. Yes.
It is more healthy.
So in our Terminator unit, we have removed fiberglass.
Excellent. Yeah, the closed cell polyolefin هذا نفس العازل اللي احنا كنا عملنا حلقة عنه وتكلمنا عنه، الكلوز سيل polyolefin ومنافعه وايش بيتميز عن الفايبر جلاس. فهم بيتميزوا هنا انه كل البرودكت تبعهم يستخدموا الكلوز سيل polyolefin. Okay.
This is a router machine basically. So to cut the insulation, we have to just feed in the program, and then it will cut the insulation based on that. Basically, it is as simple as that.
Okay. So it's not cut it manually.
No.
You cut it here. Yes.
This one for
طبعا راح يكون في عدة مكاين، فيمكن يكون صعب الكلام بعد ما نقرب على المكاين ونشوف، لكن هون بيتم تصنيع وتقطيع تجهيز الهياكل تبعات أجهزة التكييف، الكونتينر خلينا نسميها.
actually this is where we put all the material to go to the line basically, and all the this is where we collect all the material, and this is the bending machine where we do the sheet metal. So let me quickly show you here. So all the sheet metal processing is done here, and it is bought as a finished product here, and the bending is completed and that's it.
Okay.
So all the sheet metal processing is completed.
So the powder coating is done actually before it goes in.
The steel that we use is already pre-painted, so we are not doing post-painting. For some parts we do powder coating, it goes outside.
You don't do this plant.
It's very messy, environmentally not friendly.
So you send this to another facility.
So all the steel is kept here, so at any point we have maybe 30-40 tons of steel. And
Stainless steel.
stainless steel, yeah.
Not to be.
Corrosion, no corrosion issues, no, you don't have to paint it and all.
بنشوف هون الستانلس ستيل درين بان. This is standard. It's your standard. This is standard option. ف دريم درين بان بالنسبة للمكيفات الباكج الكبيرة بتكون مصنعة من الستانلس ستيل. ما في مجال انها تكون مصنعة من جلفنايز او اي شيء اخر عشان يضمنوا انه فيش فيها صدى. وهي من المزايا اللي الحقيقة يشكروا عليها. المايكرو شانل كويلز تبعات الباكج يونتس مصنع من الألمنيوم بالكامل.
This is meant to be a condenser coil or evaporator coil. This one.
This is condenser.
كوندنسينج كويل. طبعا المايكرو شانل كفاءته أعلى من الفند تيوب وأفضل.
You can't see through, right? Because of two coils behind each other. Or so thin
عندنا
that
الكبر
you can't see through.
بنلاحظ انه في شرينك سليفز طبعا لانه البقيه البايبنج بيكون كبر ريفرجيشن سايكل فبيكون كبر تو كبر عشان هيك بوصلوا معها كبر. بنشوف عمليه تجميع الباكج يونت كيف بتتم. بيتم اختبار الكويل على عدة مراحل. ستيشن رقم 3 بالهيليوم، غاز الهيليوم. فكل كويل لازم يتم اختباره ب3 مراحل عشان نتأكد انه ما في تلييق. طبعا بنلاحظ انه بعد ما يتم تجميع الكويلات مع بعض وتوصيل الريفرجريشن سايكل بيتم عملية الاختبار. بيتم شحن أجهزة التكييف هون بالفريون، وهون بينعمل الرن تيست على المكيف.
So the machine checks all the runway.
بنلاحظ خط الإنتاج عندهم اوتوميتد الحقيقة، وهذا شيء رائع جدا. الفتحة هاي اللي بنشوف عليها الفلتر هي فتحة الهواء الراجع، هون فتحة السبلاي. رح نشوف الآن المكيف هاي الباكج يونت اللي كنا بنصور فيه، وهم بيعملوا له التيست الآن، شغالين عليه. بينفحص ضغط الفريون وبينفحص الهواء والامبير حتى الكهرباء تبعها. تاكد انه ما فيش فيها تهريب كهرباء او ليكج للكهرباء. راح احاول اروح من الناحيه الثانيه على المونيتور اشوف اذا كان في امكانيه انه نصور. اذا بنلاحظ حتى الفايبريشن بينعمل له تيست من هنا. كل القراءات هذه بتكون موجوده عند الشاب هذا. نسمع صوت المكيف شغال كوندنسنج يونتس، فبيقيسوا درجة حرارة الهواء اللي داخلي بدرجة حرارة الهواء اللي خارجي والكوندنسنج تمبريتشر الهواء اللي طالع منها. بنشوف الريفرجرانت سايكل موصولة على السيستم برضه. راح احاول اروح من وجه اليونت. اللي فوق شايفين ان هذول تو سنس الفايبريشن اللي بتصير تنجي على اليونت. انا الان بحاول اصور الناحيه هاي. يس بنقدر نشوف المونيتور هنا، الكمبيوتر هو موصول مع اليونت. شغلينها على الكول مود waiting for system to في اشي مش عارف اشوفه. نلاحظ انه لوحة الكهرباء مفتوحة لانه برضه داخل في الاجراءات وموصول عليها الكمبيوتر اللي شفناه. فالحقيقة بيتم فحص كل شيء، الدوائر الكهربائية، دائرة الفريون، الفايبريشن، كمية الهواء، ضغط الهواء، درجة حرارة الهواء اللي طالع من الماكينة وكل شيء. هاي الماكينة بعد ما تنفحص بيتم تغليفهم زي هيك وبتصير جاهزة للشيبينج. الحقيقة المصنع منظم ومرتب جدا وكله اوتوميتد. بنشوف طبعا ما شاء الله كثير من اليونتس مجهزين باك، والمصنع عنده قدرة انه يطلع 1200 باكج يونت بالسنة، يعني بمعدل 100 باكج يونت شهريا. طبعا يعني من الصعب الحقيقة كان تصوير كل شيء بالمكاين اللي جوا بالذات فور سيفتي، لكن يعني اللي نقدر نصوره هو اللي صورناه. بنشوف كوبلاند سكرول كومبريسرز. طبعا كوبلاند معروفين بالنسبة لكل مقاولين التكييف، بنعرف الكواليتي تبعه وبنعرف اسم كوبلاند what does it mean. هيك بنشوف المكيف من جوا 3 condensing fan motor 2 compressors 2 separate refrigeration circuit. فلو صار فيلير في واحد من الريفرجريشن سيركت في عندي على الاقل 50% شغال، وهي من الاشياء الجيده انه يكون عندي 2 ريفرجريشن سيركت مش 1 سيركت.
So basically we have provision to a measure
the high low
high and lower pressure.
Yeah.
For that we need to go inside the machine.
This is the 30 ton, isn't it?
This one,
30 ton.
I think so.
25?
But maybe the size of the case.
This is 300 watts.
25 هاي 25 طن. وما شاء الله يعني برضه بتمتاز. اذا لاحظنا انه في عندنا 3 كوندنسنج فان موتور بدل 2 زي بقيه الاجهزه والانظمه، فيها 3 كوندنسنج فان موتور. والحقيقه موضوع الفنتيليشن على الكوندنسر رائع جدا يعني ومفتوح من كل النواحي.
Yeah. Oh, very strong. That's not the we commented about this last time, and actually this is a new type.
New type. We did
هذا أفضل.
This is a new type. This is much better.
and we did more reinforcing and after
Very good. That was one of the comments we have given.
See,
لا we
it's
can
really
see.
beautiful.
حقيقة جماعة يعني في المعرض السابق هذا أفضل.
It has been improved.
شوف حط
في مسافه بين الكول وحافه الماكينه مشان بس يشتغل الكوندنسر
ما يكونش
ما يضرب الكول فيها يعني.
لا هي كانت هون ما فيش سبورت. شوف اضافوا له اياه كانت تهزز. نعم يس لا بيرفكت really we like it when you take the recommendation of
See how active these guys.
it's
They are active.
3 months ago كانت
What do you
الملاحظة
feedback?
almost 3 months.
You know. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Perfect.
Appreciate it. That's good work really.
Yeah.
That's excellent work.
Thank you for the whole team actually.
Thank you very much.
Station, this is
Reclaim zero waste. What do you mean by zero waste?
zero waste means as part of the, so this is our policy, go zero basically.
Yeah, okay.
So we are not, as Reem, we are not letting anything into the atmosphere, neither refrigerant nor helium. So anything that we use, we are reclaiming it basically.
Oh, I see. So zero wastage of
The gases.
Gases,
We
yes.
reclaim them.
very good. You reclaim
We recycle, we reclaim them. If we need to repair a unit, the refrigerant, we reclaim it.
very good, excellent.
We don't send anything to the atmosphere.
So Reem and Ruud are environmental
Exactly.
friends.
That's why we call
And
zero
we're-
waste.
and we're
reclaim.
environmental
We
and
reclaim the
sustainable,
gases.
both.
Yeah.
Very good, excellent, excellent. Appreciate that.
You can take
Good job, guys.
this one also. This goes here. Yeah.
already there.
Already there. Okay.
That's
الآن إحنا في زيارة لمركز الابتكار الانوفيشن سنتر تبع ريم. راح ندخل ونشوف المكيفات تبعاتهم ونشوف المكيفات اللي بينتجوها كلياتها شغالة مركبة وشغالة وبتشتغل. احنا الآن داخلين على الانوفيشن سنتر تبع ريم. حنشوف كل اشي شغال على الطبيعة، كل انواع السيستمز والمكيفات شغالة عندهم. هاي كل المكيفات الكونسيلد بانواعها باشكالها موجودة شغالة على الطبيعة. نشوف السيلينج ماونتد، هذول الاندور يونتس ميد ان تايلاند. الكوندنس يونت هاي ميد ان تايلاند، وهاي الكوندنس يونت اللي ميد ان مكسيكو. فعندهم كل اشي ما شاء الله معروض هنا وجاهزات للتست. نشوف الكاسيت، ال VRV system زي ما كنا نحكي دائما في 2 refrigeration circuit في ال VRV system. راح نطلب من الشباب تشغيل كل واحد من هالأجهزة ونشوفه ونصوره علشان يكون مشمول في التقرير تبعنا. الريفرجريشن، أجهزة الريفرجريشن عندهم، ventilation، الفانز المراوح، كاسيت يونت، الباكيج يونت الجميلة هذه 5.5 طن، حقيقة جميلة جدا. very compacted.
As we walk in over here, there are 5 minutes. So this place we call as Ream Innovation Center or Innovation Learning Center. So this is a place where we bring in our customers, contractors, technicians. We get them trained on basic skills also, like brazing. So this is where we bring in technicians, engineers, even sometimes university students also. We train them on basics of HVAC. What is heating and ventilation, air conditioning, and also we go all the way up to VRF commissioning, VRF selection, heat load analysis, application, how do you select units, all of that. So we've got a total of around 60 training modules. It's divided between service.
heat load analysis you do as well?
Yeah. So we do trainings.
Do you have a software or something?
No, so we generally do that. So we've got our selection software, which is more Excel based. We also give trainings on HAP as well.
Okay.
Yeah, HAP as well, which is very commercially used. Yeah, so our intention is to train people in the market, industry experts, engineers on the right practices. So that's the bandwidth that we offer in terms of training. And then currently this is an AC specific training center. But as we move ahead, this will become an AC and water. So we'll have all of our products, water heaters, heat pumps, everything will be here. We're also planning to have solar water heaters on top of this building as well. So that's the whole plan, yeah. So the plan moving ahead is that we've got a lot of units which are running here. We're planning to take the condensate drain out of these units, which is currently now going into the drain. We plan to use that, recover that, use that for heating, right? So just to check the capacity of our heating units. The condensate would be like really low temperatures, like 15 degrees, 16 degrees. We'll use that. We'll heat that up to like 65 degrees Celsius, just to show, you know, the efficiency of our heaters as well. Hey, welcome, sir. Thank you. Welcome. Hey, welcome. Kind of trainings we do. So currently this is only an air conditioning training institute, but in a few months' time we'll have water heaters coming in as well. So this will be a hybrid training center with one of a kind. We will only be one company which offers air and water training together. So as the market is moving into heat pumps, we'll probably have that big advantage with us because we have the know-how of air conditioning and we'll put that onto water heating as well. So that's the plan. Now the training center, we've got units on the left and unit on the right. On the left, it's all display units. These are not connected to power. Now what we use these units is for bringing in our customers, for getting a touch and feel of the unit, and also if you have to see the serviceability of the unit, remove the panels, remove the fan blade, compressors, component removal, anything of that sort. Because we don't do it in the 60 Hz market. We have a similar series in Saudi Arabia. It's a side discharge unit. The unit is actually on the way. Once it is here, we can talk on that. Similar kind of orientation. It's a completely painted unit. Indoor and outdoor both are painted. All metallic parts. Everything in our unit is metallic.
That one is a size of 5 ton. This is the typical unit of a 5 ton?
This is actually a 3 ton unit. Yeah, 3 ton unit. Yeah, the indoor is 3 ton unit. Yeah. The filters, for example, this unit, you can just pull and remove it like that. So that you don't need to remove any screws or anything.
Even the bigger capacity, 1 filter or 2?
2 filters. You'll have 2 filters. When we get into this unit, EL3T, this is exactly the same unit that we sell in Saudi also. This unit has 2 different chassis arrangements. Now, up to 3 ton, it's a blow through, which means the coil is in the front.
It is a blow through.
Yeah, so that's only up to 3 ton. Above 3 ton, it's similar to that. The blowers come in front, it becomes a draw through.
This is aluminum to aluminum coil.
No, this is copper aluminum. Now this side is coated. Yeah, it is coated.
Coated.
If you come on this side, you'll see the copper tubes.
Okay.
Yeah. So our policy has always been.
Micro ventilation, someone micro channel. I mean, is it micro?
No, it is not micro channel. Yeah, it's a traditional copper. So what we do is that in our ducted range, we always stick to copper aluminum because the charge variations are always there. With package units, it's a close. It's cold. These panel, if you remove it, you have the heater slot. You can just slide in the heaters, like a completely slide-in heaters, and then you got 2 connectors. Just connect it on, and the heating comes on.
If you want built-in heater, simply you can add it later.
That's it. Yeah.
This will work
Yeah.
as a heater compartment.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just these 2 screws.
Take it out, put the heater inside.
Just done. So this is the one that
older.
this is the older chassis. The Saudi chassis is much more stronger and beautiful. Yeah, and the bottom actually has, now this is metallic. The other one has a plastic molded plastic, high temperature withstanding. It's really nice. You don't even need a anti-vibration pad.
Very good.
just
Actually,
No stands, nothing.
safe.
just put it in. It's really-
بالضبط وتحط على طول على السطح ما
Yeah.
في تحط على قاعدة.
ولا أي صدى ولا أي شيء.
True.
So in North America, and especially in the US, they love that design so much that they just put it on the
in
floor
garden.
and then
Yeah,
put it.
they will
That's
place
really
it
nice.
in the garden outside.
Yeah, and then we have the package unit. This is from Mexico. We have this from almost 3.5 tons all the way up to 25 tons, 30 tons now. From 10 ton onwards, it's made from the factory you just visited. The others still come from Mexico. Now, before we go into the details of the unit, now this units are specifically designed for villa applications and light commercial.
Yes.
So we wanted to design the unit with minimal complexity, which means the controls are very simple. You only have contactors and timers. No PCBs,
No
no
PCBs.
complicated, nothing is complicated in this. And that was purposefully done for the smaller chassis units. For the bigger units, because it is more sophisticated, you've got dual circuits, more safety switches, we've got PCB assemblies there. But up to 10 ton, we strictly follow relay logic systems.
The old school.
Same like old Caprice and old Toyota.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So, I mean, we have come across this question before as well. Before we had the R410 series, the R22 series, the 5 ton was divided into 2 compressors, 5 ton and 5 ton 2, and then you had 2 fans, dual circuit, everything. The problem with that is your overall efficiency drops a little. Now, the overall efficiency when you're talking about ER, it drops a little because you've got 2 different components, 2 different circuits, you have a lot more pressure drop. So with one circuit, it's a far more simpler system. You get higher efficiency because you have less moving components.
Okay, higher COP.
Higher COP, exactly. That's exactly what everybody's targeting. And lesser components as well.
So you want to say using single compressor 10 tons
Yeah.
is more COP compared to dual compressor?
Right. So the single compressor, the 10 ton one that Emerson now offers is really
One module?
one module. The smallest size is 25 kilowatt. for the modular.
On ton language?
25 kilowatt is like 7 tons.
7 tons?
7.5, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then smaller than that, we have the mini VRF, which is side discharge unit.
You do
Right.
have mini VRF.
We have mini VRF as well, which is side discharge. It starts from around 10 kilowatts, like 2 point something.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 something.
You're dividing by 3.4.
3.4, yeah, 3.51. So
HP you divide or multiply by 0.8.
0.8.
0.8.
Yeah. So the funny thing with VRF is that it's always on HP or kilowatts rather than on tons. So that's why we can convert that. So the smallest one is 25 kilowatts or 7 point something tons. You'll have one compressor.
By the way, your cycles are two different cycles, or they
One.
are one cycle
One.
with two compressors?
Yeah, it's one circuit, one full circuit
With two compressors.
with 2 compressors.
This is called the tandem structure.
This is tandem.
And it's so dangerous. If one compressor burn, it will kill its brother.
Yeah, so there are some protections for it for VRF. For the
How do you protect it?
yeah, so I'll
If you have
Yeah.
the coil burn
Yeah.
inside the compressor,
right.
it's always a major problem that it will kill its brother.
That risk
if
is
they
there.
are in a single coil circuit.
Right. So I'll come into the
Tandem
protections.
structure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now this units, all the components here are DC. The compressors both are inverter. The fans are DC driven. So everything
This
is
is inverter?
everything is inverter. So the compressor is right here.
Okay.
So this is the compressor that we use there. So it's a typical scroll compressor, only that the winding and there are some oil return lines additional. All of these are designed for operation on inverter boards. So this cannot run directly on electricity. You need to have an inverter drive board,
This is a DC motor.
kind of a DC drive motor, but it's designed for inverter. So variable frequency. So the whole
Variable,
operation. Yeah, the simple like VFD. Just that these are more like a BLDC motor.
Yes.
Rather than induction motors, it goes into more like a BLDC motor.
Yes.
So it has got step control, so you can go from 0 to 100. Now these compressors can go up to 120 rotations per second. That's the speed rating, 120. Depending on the load. So, and that load is determined by your indoor units.
By your indoor unit.
So all of those indoor units get that average capacity need. I need 10, he needs 10.
Linear change or
Linear,
step?
no, linear.
Linear change.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the step changes are in percentages of 1, 2, 3% like that.
Wow.
So in startup it might go to like 15-20% and then go up like that. So all of that is done with these compressors. Now typically, so a typical compressor is like this, like a fixed speed compressor. Additionally, you'll see these oil return lines. So this is basically an oil return line from the high to low side.
Okay.
So what it does is that since VRF can go really high pipe lengths, most of the oil will be recovered here, and also some will be recovered here as well.
So we don't have to worry about the length of the pipe.
Yeah, so these are just one or two. Now there are more oil return lines. So that's how VRF units actually go into these really long pipelines. These additional steps.
Because basically you are not losing your oil into the refrigerant pipes.
Absolutely.
You are reclaiming it back immediately within the compressor.
Within the compressor. So 85% of that oil is reclaimed back within that circuit itself.
Wow.
And now when you go
This
to
is a Chinese one.
this is Hitachi.
This is Hitachi compressor.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Japanese is
Japanese,
technology, basically.
yeah. But these are really good compressors. In terms of inverters, I mean, it's very difficult to get a really good design compressor, and these are really
The
good.
compression method is a screw.
Scroll.
It is a scroll.
Yeah. So next time probably we'll open this as well. It basically has this scroll inside, a moving scroll and a stationary scroll. So exactly like this. So it's got, so it's basically got. I mean, if you start from the bottom, it's got the oil sump here,
Yes.
and then the oil pump. It's basically like a small oil pump here. It is connected with your rotor shaft.
Okay.
So this is an induction motor. Basically, you have the stator here. This is your rotor,
Yes.
and then one end of the rotor is connected to one of the scrolls. That is what we call as a moving scroll.
Right.
And then there's a fixed scroll. It's kept off center. So which means it will have multiple cycles of suction and discharge in one cycle itself. So in that way, it is compared to this, it has more efficiency because it has got multiple
This is the ordinary reciprocating.
reciprocating compressor, the single piston reciprocating compressor. So we used to use that in like 2015, 2016, but then we don't use it anymore. So the VRF inverter compressor is exactly the same. The only difference being that can have variable frequency, the speed goes up and down.
Right.
The rotations per second changes. Yeah. To control the flow, yeah. So now, for example, this is logged at 1750 RPM. Either you have 0 or 1750, that's it. But for that, the rotations per second just changes based on, that's exactly where the,
This oil return is nice.
yeah, and
There's a lot of oil that goes to this. Right?
right. So now it's the same compressor that we see here. It's got this acoustic liner for sound insulation, and this is a
When you scroll actually is it quiet by
it's
nature?
it's quiet by nature.
By nature.
Yeah.
Maybe it is more as a thermal insulation than a
Yeah, so we have got these two compressors, and then there's an oil separator, additional oil separator. So whatever balance goes out also, that's the oil separator.
It will also catch and
Return back, yeah.
So by these oil return backs, you regain back again how much percent of
90%.
90%.
Yeah, 90% is what-
you succeed to take back.
90% is that's how the system is designed. For all of that, 90%. So that's the only reason why VRF can go like
Gives
this
you
huge.
long,
Yeah, that's exactly how it does.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then there's a non-return valve here so that the discharge doesn't come back, and then it goes into four-way valve. So four-way valve or reversing valve, because this is a heat pump.
This is a heat pump.
Yeah, all of our VRF units are heat pumps.
Yes.
So if it is in the cooling mode, from the heat pump it will go into the condenser.
Yes.
If it's in the heating mode, the pilot solenoid will operate, and the hot gas would go into the indoor units. Indoor units, the fan will blow.
That's why you have here a capillary distribution.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It works as an evaporator in the heat pump.
Right.
I was about to ask why this one is here.
Yeah. So we've got a capillary, then we've got another additional expansion valve as well. So that's for the heating cycle. So on the cooling cycle, then it'll come into the condenser. The fans would run, subcooling would happen. Now, the biggest difference between a T1 VRF and a T3 VRF is something called as a subcooler or a plate heat exchanger. That's exactly what Samir was saying. See, this is an additional plate heat exchanger.
Okay.
That is added on to a normal system. What it does is that it adds to your condenser's capacity. So what it takes is simple.
It subcools it.
It subcools it further, so that the condenser, even if it's like 55 degrees Celsius, that will kick in and then cool it further. It's like the oil coolers and chillers.
So you have improved the T1 to reach to the
T3 or T4 level. For Kuwait, for example, you really need T4.
T4.
Yeah, so that's exactly what the subcooler does. To the subcooling, it goes into the liquid pipe, and the liquid pipe goes into each of these indoor units. We can have 64 of these type. Like now we have got 5, we can have 64 indoor units, that's the maximum.
Provided that the
But you go out.
capacity does not exceed the total number.
Yeah, so the connection ratio, what we said, the capacity of indoor unit divided by capacity of outdoor unit, standard is 130%. You can also go to 200% if it's not a comfort cooling application.
If it is not,
A comfort cooling application, like a warehouse.
Storage or something.
So for a comfort cooling, for example,
100%. More for indoor.
is okay, that condition. Yeah. So our application, I mean, for example, if you send that to Laith, he will never design it for 200 for a villa or an office. So if it's a warehouse, maybe you can optimize it. And then and then the pipe, you can take the pipe out from all 4 sides. Now I've taken it from the back. You can take it from the front, left, right, or back, all 4 sides.
I see.
سو هلا نحن الوول ماونتد يونت اللي راكبه على الحيط هي على السرعه الثالثه. رح نشغل نخفف السرعه لاوتو او نشتغل على اوتو. رح نشوف السرعه على السرعه الدنيا المينيمال. وهي الميديوم. وهيك اوف.
Quiet in the low and in the medium.
هلا
Very quiet. in low and
داكتد
in-
تايب الاثنين اتس رانينج.
الكونسيلات
الكونسيلات شغالين.
Wow. Will
The
you
two,
switch them off? Will
we
you
can-
switch them off?
Yeah,
so
we can switch
compare?
them. هلا شايف هيدا الدكت ريتيرن دكت فري. ما في
جنب المكنة.
and this is a
ما في ريتيرن سلوت،
Yeah.
فري
yeah,
ريتيرن.
yes.
يعني دغري الماكينه فوق سقف المستعار، وير هيلينج هلا النويز تبع الماكينه.
من المكنة نفسها من
Wow.
خلال فتحة الهواء هاي.
Yeah.
والله so close.
We can keep silent and you hear.
Yeah.
Can we play in the speed of the fan?
Okay, I'll go into high speed. Okay.
Yeah. Now high speed.
Can we go to the low?
Low we cannot hear anything. Maybe I'm too old to hear.
No, no,
too.
it's low.
very quiet.
Can we cut it off?
Yeah.
If the other unit is running?
في ختام زيارتنا لمصنع شركة ريم في الإمارات، نشكر شركة ريم على الدعوة الكريمة اللي وجهوا لنا إياها، ونشكر المهندس ليث على مرافقته لنا طوال الرحلة. وإن شاء الله نبقى نطلع إحنا وياكم لزيارات أخرى لمصانع تكييف لشركات أخرى، ونبقى ندعوكم إلها. فانتظروا منا دعوات جديدة وزيارات جديدة لمصانع تكييف أخرى. شكراً.